reckless driving, or whether it's vandalism. I mean, who wants to live in an area where your car, you park it on the street, and it gets busted into and or stolen multiple times in a year? You shouldn't have to live in that environment. Until they get a handle on that, you're never going to see population growth. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We got a lot of great stuff coming up. Right now, WTMJ breaking news time is 1:30 p.m. Let's throw it to the WTMJ Breaking News Center.
Thanks, Jeff. I'm Sandy Max, and the air quality alert has been extended until tomorrow at noon by the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources. The air quality is still considered unhealthy in Milwaukee County due to the continuing smoke from the Canadian wildfires. The U.S. Supreme Court gutting race-based affirmative action programs in college admissions today, ruling against two universities, Harvard and the University of North Carolina. The court said in a 6-3 opinion that the programs violate the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment and that a student's individual qualities should be considered apart from racial identity. Milwaukee police investigating after a man was found dead in a vehicle early this morning. A 22-year-old man found dead of gunshot wounds around 6:30 this morning. Milwaukee police saying they are investigating this as a homicide and looking for any suspects, asking for anyone with information on what happened to give them a call. The Wisconsin Assembly today will debate and vote on the budget proposal, the Senate passing it 20-13 yesterday. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow up to 34,066, the S&P 500 up to 4,387, and the NASDAQ down to 13,563. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button today. Taking a look at your roads with your Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. No major accidents and no major delays.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
Be our eyes on the roads. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, a chance of scattered storms, otherwise a mix of sun, clouds, and smoke today. High 90 inland, 85 near the lake. And tonight, a slight chance of storms early, partly cloudy, low 66. Expect smoky skies because that advisory continues until noon tomorrow. And tomorrow's weather will be warm, humid, partly cloudy, slight chance of storms. High 90 inland, 87 lakeside tomorrow. Saturday, partly cloudy, humid, slight chance of storms, high 83. Sunday, slight chance of storms, partly cloudy, high 77. Monday weather, mostly sunny, a pop-up storm is possible, high 80. Right now, 87 in Madison, 84 in Green Bay, 84 in Waukesha, and in Milwaukee, 81 degrees. I'm Sandy Max, citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 1:32.
I'm Jeff Wagner. Coming up next, some of my teammates had me feeling old yesterday afternoon. I'll explain. We'll discuss.
Don't go anywhere. Jeff Wagner is back right after this.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. There's free pizza today at the Amazing Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford. Seriously, it is free. Coaches, managers, business owners. Check this out. Every Thursday when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza free. Buy 5 pizzas, get 5 free. You know how this goes. Buy 10, get 10 free. Any size, any quantity. So bring in your soccer, baseball, basketball, or tennis team, your club organization after practice, or game today for that free pizza. Your kids are going to love that world-class game room. It's fun. It's affordable. Team bonding, what a great idea. Bring in pizza for your loyal employees today. They're going to love it, and half your pizzas are free. You're going to love that. The Mineshaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh, just off the interstate. Stop today for your free pizza with your family, with your employees. I love the pepperoni at the Mineshaft. It's the real deal. The Friday cod fish fry is all you can eat. It's under $10. It's the best fish fry value anywhere. Order your pizza now. Pick it up shortly. Visit MineShaftRestaurant.com. It's the Mineshaft.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With the weather getting warmer, our prices get even hotter. When you visit our showroom, you'll see all the finest brands of lights and ceiling fans. BBC is Wisconsin's largest supplier to new home builders, contractors, and designers. And we display all the famous brands such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Hubbard & Forge, and hundreds more. Our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and on Saturday from 10 to 4. We are located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Jeff Wagner on WTMJ.
Welcome back. We are broadcasting live from Summerfest. This is Debbie Gibson. Debbie Gibson's performing at 4:15 on the Miller Lite Oasis. This is Throwback Thursday, of course, and matter of fact, I said earlier, my wife is coming down with some friends. John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band are going to be playing. Hotel California, Salute to the Eagles. They're going to be playing. Night Ranger is here later on. And Dave Matthews Band, of course, headlining Summerfest this evening. It's really, the sun is out. There is a bit of a haze that's here, but don't let that stop you. Come on down and enjoy yourself. We also, our live stream is now up, so if you want to, in addition to listening, if you're one of the hundreds and hundreds of people who do this on a daily basis, you want to see how my wife has dressed me, and you want to watch us as we do Summerfest, you can now simply go to WTMJ.com and click on the Watch Live button, or alternatively, go to YouTube. We've got our own YouTube channel. Just put in WTMJ, and you can watch the live stream. We also have one of our cameras that faces out, and so at the same time, you can also see the folks at Summerfest as they walk by. Great crowd, having a lot of fun, and so far, again, there's a little bit of haze because of the smoke, but don't let that stop you from coming down. So, okay. I want to share this with you. Yesterday's program, just as an aside, I mentioned the fact that stamps are going up. The cost of these forever stamps are going up from 63 cents to 66 cents. That's effective, I think, July 9th. So that's, I still think, the Postal Service, I think that's one of the best deals going, that you can drop something in an envelope in Key West, Florida, at the southernmost point in the United States, and for 66 cents, they will deliver that letter to Spokane, Washington. I mean, I just think it's a great deal. And one of my colleagues, one of my teammates said, I was kind of curious, do you mail anything anymore? He's 24 years old. He said, yeah, I remember the last time I mailed something. I sent something to my mom last June. It was a year. And we had a discussion on yesterday's program about how people just don't use the U.S. mail anymore. And while I can admit that I don't send as many things through the U.S. mail, I mean, I still, there's stuff that I will use the mail for, whether it's like writing sympathy cards or thank you cards, and the occasional one-off bill. For my regular bills, yeah, they all come out of the checking account, or I use auto pay or something, but there will be the one-off bill that I still will write a check for, put the check in the envelope, and then send it off. Well, I was sharing this after the program yesterday with a couple of my teammates, two of whom are 24 and one is 25. And one of my teammates looked at me and said, well, I got to tell you, I don't have checks. I said, what? He said, no, I don't have a checkbook. I don't have checks. And then one of my other colleagues, 24 years old, said, yeah, I don't have checks either. And then my 25-year-old colleague said, I've never written a check in my life. And I admit to taking a step back, and I was thinking, well, wait a minute, never at all? No, we use debit cards, and on those occasions where we have to, or if we've got a utility bill or something, we just pay that, electronically. And I said, well, what about kind of the one-off sort of bills, the ones that you're not like a regular sort of thing? Oh, in that case, we use Venmo. Yeah, but the thing was, between credit cards and debit cards, there is no reason to use these checks. And like I say, I think all three of them are like, well, we know what these check things you speak of are, but when we opened our accounts, we don't have them. We don't have them. We don't need them. And so then I said, I'm just kind of curious, how do you reconcile this? How do you balance your checkbook? One of my teammates said, balance the checkbook. I think I've seen my dad do that. I said, yeah, you kind of like sit down at the end of the month and you look at how much money you think you should have, and then you compare it to how much the bank has, and the general reaction, I mean, everybody's looking at me like I've got, two heads and, one giant eyeball that's coming out of my forehead. It's like, no, we don't do that. We just, we look at it, we kind of keep track of, of it. And if we look in the morning and we know we have, the bank says we've got that much money, that's how much money we have. So we don't bother reconciling our accounts. And I was thinking about that all the way home. And so I write fewer checks than I used to. But so I went home last night and I kind of dug out the checkbook from my desk and I looked and I counted in the last 2 months. So in May and June, in the last 2 months, I had written a total of 10 checks. And of those 10, one was to this outfit that we had come out and clean our windows. One was to my dentist. One was to the IRS, an estimated tax thing. One was to the Register of Deeds in Milwaukee County because I needed an official document for something. One was to my insurance company. And then one was to like this health insurance thing. And a couple of the others for miscellaneous things. But I guess I was kind of surprised at how few checks that even as a dinosaur, how few checks I write nowadays. But my 20-something colleagues, they don't even have checks. They don't even have these checkbooks. Our number is 855-616-1620, which is the Old National Bank talk and text line. Here is my question. Have checks become passé? Are they the newspapers? Are they the newspapers of 2023? And 3 or 4 years from now, or 5 years from now, are checks going to completely disappear? Is the expectation going to be that everybody's going to have a debit card and everybody's going to have a credit card, and that's how we're going to pay our bills moving forward? And this idea that you actually sit down, write something out, put it in an envelope or deliver it or give it to somebody. Again, my colleagues, they knew what checks were. It wasn't that. They say, yeah, my mom will send me a check from time to time, and I'll deposit it into my account. But, are you using checks less? And my answer to that is yes. And actually, I was surprised at how few checks I had written in the last 2 months. And, I mean, trust me, I got lots of expenses. But, I always just kind of, if it's not a check, I just kind of say auto pay or whatever to that. Are checks going to go the way of the dinosaur? 855-616-1620. We discuss in a moment.
More Jeff Wagner right after this.
It's not a gimmick. It's simply comprehensive, fee-only financial planning to get all your arrows pointed in the right direction. And although rate of return is important, there are many factors that are equally, if not more important. There's a strong belief among financial experts that tax planning is more important than rate of return. And at Financial Strategies, we strongly believe that is what sets us apart. As a result of our strategies, our clients have saved significantly on their taxes. They were prepared to pay the taxes and elated when we shared how they could avoid them. We want to grow your investment and protect it, and we've proven to be very good at doing just that. I'm Jim Cantrell with Financial Strategies, Inc., and we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to financialstrategiesinc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial Strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
Rose Gray here from Fox World Travel. I'm often asked, when is the best time to book all-inclusive winter getaways? Well, my friends, it is in summer. Do yourself a favor and get your vacation on the calendar now. And guess what? This July, Fox World Travel is once again partnering with Apple Vacations for the nation's largest exclusive early booking sale. We'll have exclusive resort deals you won't find anywhere else and the nonstop flights to get you to Mexico and the Caribbean. Our expert advisors save you time. The sale saves you money. Plus the best price guarantee and cancel for any reason insurance. Why not check the box and get your vacation on the calendar? Call a travel advisor now to get on the list before the sale starts. In anticipation of our upcoming sale, Fox World Travel and Apple Vacations are giving away a trip for two to Dreams Riviera Cancun Resort and Spa. Boy, is it incredible. Visit foxworldtravel.com and enter for a chance to win by June 30th. Visit foxworldtravel.com. Good luck.
Hunger Task Force is Milwaukee's free and local food bank and Wisconsin's leading anti-hunger organization. We deliver dignity, justice, equity, compassion, and stewardship. Visit hungertaskforce.org to donate, volunteer, or raise your voice to end hunger in our community.
Hey, former radio wake-up guy Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. If that recent cold snap made you think that now is the time to replace those drafty old windows, then now is a good time to call Hometown Windows and Doors. Save heating costs now, cooling dollars down the road with energy-efficient replacement windows and doors from Hometown. Hometown offers the brands you trust like Anderson, Pella, Marvin, Softlight, and more in wood, vinyl, and fiberglass. And all of their products are installed by employee carpenters. Plus, Hometown is the area's only Pella Platinum and Marvin authorized replacement company. Hometown's dedicated consultants can guide you to the best fit and value for your home and your remodeling dollar. Stop in at their newly remodeled showroom in New Berlin and see the Hometown difference for yourself. Or call them for a no-pressure in-home consultation, 414-329-1200, or visit them at hometownwindows.com. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
This is Jeff Wagner on WTMJ.
This is Lord Huron performing at 9:30 this evening, right behind from where I'm located at the Generac Power Stage. We are here, Summerfest. It is Throwback Thursday, $5 admission and half-price beverages. Half-price beverages till 6 o'clock. So come on down. The weather is extremely nice. We're just telling the story. Are checks obsolete? You know, you get the checkbook and you write out the check and you then balance your checkbooks at the end of the month. One of my texters just says, Jeff, you, my wife, and my mom are the only three people I know that still balance checkbooks. Well, I mean, it's one of the ways, since you write checks, you want to know what's out there. You want to make sure that you just don't bounce checks. 855-616-1620. Are checks obsolete, or will they soon be obsolete? Let's start with Bill in Hales Corners. Hi, Bill. You're on WTMJ.
Jeff, how are you?
I'm good. Are checks going the way of the dinosaur?
Absolutely, and I think I'm a bit of a dinosaur. I'm 62, and I quit writing checks several years ago. I have online banking, so everything I pay through the online banking app. I do it once a week on my own. I don't do many of them automatically, but then anything that I have to have a check for, you can plug in an automatic check that the bank will write and send to wherever you need to send it out of your account.
So that's how you handle like the one-off things, like like the window cleaners, and you're going to deal with them maybe once every 2 years. So that's what you do with the people that are the non-regular, the non-recurring expenses.
Exactly, and even if I need to send something to an individual, I can put the individual's name in and address and send a check out of my account electronically through online banking.
Do you find that easier than just writing out the check?
I do, much easier, because I'm already online, paying other bills and reconciling the checkbook. I don't necessarily balance it like I used to, but I reconcile, everything that's gone through the account. So.
Right. Interesting. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. 855-616-1620. Jeff, I don't have the internet. I write one check a month to We Energies. They charge $10 to pay by phone, which is the way I pay my other bills. Jeff, I write quite a few checks. Never been hacked. Well, yeah, but if you got the bank accounts online, you can be. Jeff, I'll continue writing checks until they stop adding fees for credit cards and electronic payments. Yeah, that was I forget. There's the utility company. We have a place in Florida, and the utility company down in Florida said, "Hey, now you can, if you want, we'll bill your credit card if you want, but there's a 3% fee." Well, I'm not going to pay the 3% fee. In that case, it comes out of my checking account. 855-616-1620. Let's talk to, John in Oak Creek. John, you're on WTMJ. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good. You still write checks?
Well, I'm going to stop pretty soon. What happened to me was about 2 weeks ago, I mailed a card and a substantial check to my son and daughter-in-law in Appleton.
Okay.
And this was about 2 weeks ago. And so we were waiting for them to get the card and waiting. And I called them a few times, and they said, "No, Dad, we don't have the card yet or the check." So I was starting to worry, So after about a week and a half or so, I called the bank and I said, stop payment on that check because they haven't received it yet. And they said, sure, John, we'll do that. It's going to cost you $35.
Wow.
And 2 days later, I get a call from my son. Thanks, Dad. We got the card.
No.
So I have no idea where that card sat for over a week and a half. I called the post office here, and they said Appleton is 2 hours away, so they should have got that card in a maximum of 4 days. So.
Yeah.
It cost me $35.
Yeah. No, I get it, John. Thanks for calling. I mean, that's kind of, I think, that's kind of like the aberration. I mean, I think I've had to stop payment on a check, I think, once in the last 10 years. And I think the way my bank works is, as long as you don't have to do it on a regular basis, they'll kind of comp it for you. But it is interesting. And to me, like I say, if we would have had this discussion 10 years ago, for sure, I would have probably said I go through 40 checks a month. Now, like I say, it's down to 5 a month, and those are all largely for the one-off things. And I know the first caller was saying, you can just direct the bank to send those one-off checks. To me, it's easier to sit there with the checkbook and just write the stuff out, put it in the envelope, and be done with it. At least it seems to me that's easier to do that. But it is amazing to me. You're having this sea change out there where more and more something that was kind of a rite of passage for many of us. I mean, do you remember when you got your first checking account and you were able to actually go into places and you could write this stuff out? That was kind of a rite of passage, and now it's going away. That's just the reality. Bill in Racine. Bill, you're on WTMJ.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Bill.
Great day so far. Hope it rains, right?
Well, I'm down at Summerfest. I'm not hoping for rain right now. But
I got
what do you think about checks?
$150 from Stephen that I accepted last night, and I didn't have a problem with it whatsoever. It's a paper check. The number is 128, and he's a good man.
Yeah.
I'll accept his check, and let's roll from there.
Thanks for the call, Bill. I appreciate it. Well, look, here's the deal. I mean, you always do take a risk when you accept checks that there's not going to be sufficient funds in the account, and that can create an issue. And I guess I've been trying to think this through, and if you don't, the reason you reconcile your checkbook is to make sure that your addition is correct and that you haven't made an error, a mathematical error, because with checks there's a float. It takes, you write the check, you send it off, it takes a couple days for that to cash. I guess theoretically, if you're not writing any checks at all and it's all real time, you have a better indication of how much money is in your account. So I have to think that through, whether it's still a completely unnecessary thing. But I mean, look, I'm old school. I'm doing fewer and fewer checks. But again, for those one-off bills, do I do Venmo? Do I know how Venmo works? Yeah. Is it just as easy for me to write out the check and send it off? Absolutely. Jeff, my bank charges $40 for a box of checks. No thanks. No doubt about that at all. Jeff, my dad lives in a mobile home park in Florida. He has always paid his yearly lot dues by check, as do many of the residents since they are quote-unquote elderly. Several years ago, management made it mandatory to be paid on credit card or bank account. Still, some people resisted, including my dad. Unfortunately, a gentleman was so angry about this that he ended up getting into a confrontation with the manager. Well, I mean, it's not worth getting into a fight over. A number of people are also pointing out that, how they use checks to give wedding gifts and things of the like. And what about the one-off charitable contributions? And I guess the answer to that is what one of our callers said, is you go and have the bank generate these various checks that you then issue. I don't think checks are passé. I don't think they're going away. But I do think, just like we saw this starting in the 90s with newspapers, where fewer and fewer people, I mean, let's face it, there's nobody under the age of 40 that actually reads the hard copy of a newspaper. And maybe it's even maybe it's under the age of 50, but nobody does that anymore. And that's why the bottom has just fallen out of the newspaper business, as they try to say, okay, well, how are we going to replace the advertising? Where are we going to get the readers? meters, and how are we going to generate the revenue? So, I mean, this decline happened, starting in the 90s, and there's really no turnaround for it. And I do believe newspapers, sooner or later, are going to end up being obsolete. You're already starting to see more and more newspapers like cut back in the daily circulation. I think you're going to see the same thing with checks as more and more younger people just say, we don't need them. We have these other alternatives that are there, and maybe when you can go to the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. someday, you'll see a checkbook and a register, and you'll think fondly of those of us who still use paper checks and still balance our checking accounts, reconcile them once a month. Back with more in just a minute. This is Jeff Wagner.
Don't go anywhere. Jeff Wagner is back right after this.
Hey, Greg, give me another broad.
John, be nice. We're representing WTMJ at Summerfest.
Sandy, I've been playing bags in the Gruber Law Office's Sport Zone for hours. I need fuel before we head to the Pello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Mobile Studios. I should probably take this. Hello, this is John.
What? We're doing this interview.
Oh, shoot. We'll be right there.
All right, John. Here's that broad.
No time. Greg, we got to get going.
You're welcome.
Hear Wisconsin's afternoon news live at Summerfest on WTMJ.
Hi, it's Samantha with Heiser. Summer's here, and so is the ability to order the all-new 2024 Toyota Highlander Grand. With more space, you'll be able to create more memories all year long. You'll get upfront pricing, no hidden market adjustment fees, and never pay over MSRP. Stop in or shop online today at HeiserToyota.com. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details. Tax title license, $3.99 service fees, and security deposit extra.
Here's to soaking up surf culture on Wisconsin's fresh coast. Here's to beaches designed for people of all abilities. To sand between your toes and happiness in your heart. Here's to trading skylines for endless Wisconsin shorelines. And to ending each day with smiles all around. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Start your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more, now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. Call Tax Relief Helpers at 800-941-8268.
Are you tired of being tired? Go to adventknows.com.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
This is Jeff Wagner on WTMJ.
So glad to have you with us. Let's sneak in one more call before the top of the hour. John and Eva. John, you're on WTMJ.
Hi, Jeff. How are you?
Good. What do you think? Checks obsolete?
They are definitely going obsolete. I used to work for the largest check printing company in New Berlin back when they closed the New Berlin plant in 1997 due to corporate downsize already.
And that's not changing at all, huh?
Did you leave yet? No, not at all. I stayed in contact with a couple friends that transferred to Minnesota, and they just retired a couple months ago, and they said Deluxe is barely holding on because it's just fading away so fast.
Yeah. Thanks for calling, John. It's just clear. It's the modern reality, and the thing that a lot of us grew up with. It's just going to be different. Hey, we got a lot of stuff coming up in the 2 o'clock hour, including it's now cheaper than water. It's the broadcast TV genre that continues to survive and thrive, and a lot more. Don't go anywhere. We continue our Summerfest broadcast in just a couple minutes.
More Jeff Wagner right after this.
While the warm weather has you feeling like new, get old with a money market account from Old National Bank and earn a 5.00% annual percentage yield. Whether you're saving up for something big or just for a rainy day, Old National is here for you. Earn 5.00% APY with our limited time 12-month introductory money market offer. To earn the promotional rate, account must be funded with a minimum of $10,000 not on deposit at Old National as of April 14th, 2023. Learn more at oldnational.com or visit a local banking center today. Offer not available online. Member FDIC. Old National Bank. Get old.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. At LAK Group, they call great leaders agile leaders, those who inspire and are agents of change, driving organizational improvement. These leaders attract talent and positively impact business outcomes. LAK creates agile leaders, offering custom leadership development programs tailored to your organization's mission. They can take you from good to great. Learn more about the leadership development programs at LAK Group. Visit transformingcareers.com. LAK Group. Discover your human advantage.
Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Keeping you informed, keeping you safe, keeping you engaged and entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 2 o'clock, it is 81 degrees, chance of scattered storms today, mix of sun, clouds, and smoke, a high of 85. An air quality advisory remaining in effect from the Department of Natural Resources until noon tomorrow due to that continuing wildfire smoke from Canada. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Wyatt Barmar-Pooley. The U.S. Supreme Court gutting race-based affirmative action programs in college admissions today, ruling against Harvard and the University of North Carolina, the court saying in a 6-3 opinion that the programs violate the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment, that a student's individual qualities should be considered apart from racial identity. President Joe Biden reacting to the ruling today at the White House.
I believe our colleges are stronger when they're racially diverse. Our nation is stronger because we are tapping into the full range of talent in this nation.
The decision limiting how colleges and universities can consider race in the admissions process, however, law professor and ABC News contributor Kim Whaley pointing out the court is fine with legacy admissions.
A legacy admission is if your mom, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, grandpa went to this elite institution, gave a lot of money. You do get a plus moving forward, and there can be an argument that that is race-based because most people who have that advantage are white.
And a member of Milwaukee's NAACP chapter says accommodating new standards on affirmative action will be an ongoing process. William Sultan is the chair of the Legal Redress Committee.
Certainly this will be a topic of discussion at our next meeting, how we can help colleges and universities meet the strict scrutiny standard that the court has set, taking into account the invalidation of the policies at Harvard and UNC.
Milwaukee's colleges have diverse student bodies, with people of color making up 30% of Marquette's student body. The wildfire smoke making its way into western New York as well as here in southeast Wisconsin. It's affecting the air quality there as well. That affecting the Brewers possibly. They're in New York City where they're playing the Mets. But General Manager Matt Arnold telling WTMJ the conditions will not affect tonight's game.
Maybe it's a little bit hazy, but no, the last few days and even this morning, it's a little bit overcast. But other than that, it's mostly clear.
Arnold joins Wisconsin's Morning News for Brewers 360 every Thursday at 7:45. Milwaukee police are investigating after a man was found dead in a vehicle early this morning in the River West neighborhood. MPD say they are investigating it as a homicide. The 22-year-old man was found dead of gunshot wounds around 6:30 this morning on North Avenue. Police are investigating what happened leading up to the shooting. They're looking for any suspects and asking for anyone with any information on what happened to give them a call. Sports, traffic, and weather coming up next. Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News time is 2:03.
Hi, this is WTMJ Steve Scavini for Educators Credit Union. When you open an Educators Credit Union checking account, you can say goodbye to surprise fees and hello to a whole lot of perks. Enjoy rewards, cash back, discounts, and card customization. With their convenient digital services and nationwide network of over 60,000 fee-free ATMs, you can also access your account anytime, anywhere. Join Educators Credit Union today and take advantage of all the benefits that come with a checking account. Get started at ECU.com, federally insured by NCUA. UA.
You can give them the same old, or you can surprise them with something unique from St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Store at a bargain. Almost new, but really cool. The thing about thrift store gift shopping is that you never know what you'll find, but when you find it, you'll know it's right. That's what makes it fun. And if you just can't choose, gift cards are always available at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd in Lincoln in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
We've been doing this for quite some time, so we know the value of solid wood furniture. But we found that using solid hardwood laminates actually make for sturdier, more versatile furniture frames. Frames on the Ken Michaels furniture line are cross-grained, so weak spots like wood knots are eliminated. And unlike natural wood frames, ours don't expand and contract. So they're more durable, stronger, and of course, they last longer. Furniture for life at Ken Michaels Furniture Stores in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. The highest quality, flippable, two-sided mattresses your money can buy. And making Milwaukee mattresses flippable since we started is one reason why our customers tell us they last a good 15 to 20 years. The other happens to be that we don't cut corners on the materials we use to manufacture them. Find them at factory direct pricing for hundreds less than premium national mattress brands at our Ken Michaels Furniture Stores in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee, where no middleman means no extra markup and real savings for you.
It's the Brewers and Mets one more time in the Big Apple this evening. Milwaukee has captured 2 of 3 in New York so far. They go for the series win with Adrian Hauser on the hill facing Max Scherzer. You can hear all the game action right here on 620 WTMJ. Pre-game coverage kicking off at 5:35. Chris Middleton and Brooke Lopez are 2 of over 50 NBA free agents who will be able to cut new deals as early as tomorrow when the league free agency window kicks in at 5 p.m. on Friday. Wisconsin's Steve Stricker and Jerry Kelly are part of the field at Century World in Stevens Point as the U.S. Senior Open is underway with round 1 this afternoon. And ABC TV will be the home of the NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship in December. Last season, NCAA Women's Volleyball ratings soared, and now the final will be played in prime time on ABC. Bob Brainerd, WTMJ Sports.
Taking a look at your roads, it is your Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic, and the biggest headache right now is on 43 both ways. Northbound from downtown to Brown Deer Road is a 14-minute ride. That's a 3-minute delay, but it's worse going back the other way. Southbound from Brown Deer Road on into downtown is an 11-minute ride. That's actually, no, it is an 18-minute ride. That is a 7-minute delay. That's, again, due most likely to the construction there. We also got a little bit of slowdowns on 94 eastbound into downtown as you come out of the stadium, a little bit of the tap of the brakes, and 41, 45 southbound as you go past Capitol Drive, again, tap of the brakes there. No accidents reported, however.
Sponsored by East Troy Music Festival this weekend. Live music, carnival rides, and family fun.
The East Troy Music Festival is this weekend. 21 premier live music acts on 3 stages, plus 3 tents and fireworks and a parade on Sunday. East Troy Music Festival. Go to easttroylions.org.
Time for the WTMJ 5-day forecast. An air quality advisory from the DNR remaining in effect until noon tomorrow. That is due to the continuing smoke from Canadian wildfires. We'll see that today. A mix of sun, clouds, and smoke. Chance of scattered storms, a high of 85. Tonight, slight chance of storms early. It'll be partly cloudy, a low of 66. Friday, warm, humid, partly cloudy, a slight chance of storms, and a high of 87. That chance of storms will linger throughout the weekend. Saturday, partly cloudy and humid, a high of 83. Sunday, partly cloudy, a high of 77. And on Monday, it'll be mostly sunny, but with a chance of some pop-up storms throughout the day, a high of 80 degrees. Right now in Madison, it is 88. In Green Bay, it's 85. In Waukesha, it's 85. And in Milwaukee, it is 82 degrees. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, citing Unlimited WTMJ News. Time is 2:08.
From the Pella Windows and Doors mobile studio at the Gruber Law Office's Sports Zone, it's the Jeff Wagner Show, live from Summerfest. Now, here's Jeff Wagner.
Good afternoon, Wisconsin. Welcome back to the show. So very glad to have you with us. Actually, I think it's brightening up a little bit. Now, I understand I'm getting reports that says that there's like pockets of rain all over our area, but right down here at the lakefront, it's sunny through the haze, but a lot of people down here. Everybody's having a great time. It's Throwback Thursday, which means half prices on beverages and things like that, $5 admission until 6 o'clock, so come on down. We're having a great time here. Hey, if you follow me on Twitter, it's at Jeff Wagner 620, couple new postings, including the background of that story we talked about last hour, the woman who decides to run over her boyfriend's father and then flees from the cops and then totals her car with 5 kids in the back, and kind of a recitation of her criminal record over the last 5 years, raising the question of what she was doing out on the street. But, of course, all these people who commit crimes are out on the street. But another notation as well, I think sometimes we have to get past politics. And I don't care whether you think Joe Biden's presidency is the greatest thing since canned beer and he's a wonderful guy, or whether you think he's just absolutely awful and don't approve of the job he's done or whatever. I think the fact is that he's 80 years old, and that should be a matter of concern to all of us, because if he runs for re-election and is re-elected, he will be 82, which means if he serves his full term, he will be 86. And at the risk of being labeled ageist, and by the way, I'm a lot closer in age to 80 than I am to, say, like 35, but you look at what's going on, and it's kind of scary because you can see him slowing down. I've got a link to this story. If you haven't been paying attention, twice, not once, but twice, in the last 36 hours, when talking about Ukraine, he has confused Ukraine with Iraq. When Putin invaded Iraq. Now, as I said on that, I've got a link to the story. As I said on my Twitter account, we all have occasional slips of the tongue. Believe me, I understand. As somebody who's made a living, doing spoken word radio in front of an open microphone 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, 48 weeks a year, I understand we all have slips of the tongue. But the fact that an 80-year-old leader of the free world continually appears to confuse Ukraine with Iraq, to me it is definitely not comforting, which raises to me this larger issue of, seriously, isn't it time to find candidates who maybe weren't born around or during World War II? I mean, Joe Biden, who was born during World War II, and lest you think I am being too political in this, Donald Trump, who was born immediately after World War II. He was born in 1946. Isn't it time at some point in time where we say we want a new generation of people, again, regardless of what your politics are, left or right, isn't it time to finally say we gotta pass the torch? Let's find some 68-year-old whippersnapper or something to become the president of the United States. But it is troubling, and you just, again, whenever we talk about this, I always get texts from people who say, hey, I'm 68 years old, and I wouldn't be president of the United States. Many, not all, but many companies, large companies, many large law firms, etc., 65 years old, you're out. And certainly by 70, you're out. But in politics, it's like, okay, these are the choices, and I understand with age comes wisdom, but the truth is, we don't age like fine wine. That's just the reality. And it's kind of painful to watch Joe Biden. And I say that regardless of whether you love his policies or not. If you're a Democrat, can't you find maybe somebody 30 years younger or 20 years younger who's going to implement the same sort of policies? And the same thing true, with Republicans. To that point, the new Marquette University Law School poll came out yesterday. Now, the Marquette Law School poll has historically underreported the popularity of Trump in Wisconsin. And so you need to say that as a caveat. In 2016, when Donald Trump beat Hillary Clinton in Wisconsin, that was not picked up by the Marquette Law School poll. And similarly, in 2020, the Marquette Law School poll had Joe Biden beating Trump by a lot larger margin than he ended up beating Trump. So the Trump support has always been difficult for this particular poll to grasp. So I say that understanding that Trump has always been underrepresented in this poll. But nevertheless, I think the numbers are really, really interesting. In Wisconsin, and if you are a Republican, here is the reality. It is almost impossible, not impossible, but almost impossible to fashion a scenario where a Republican wins the presidency without carrying Wisconsin. I mean, you'd have to, because again, it's not popular vote, it's the Electoral College, and when you look at the different Electoral College accounts, you really have to work at doing that. So Wisconsin is key if Republicans are going to retake the White House. That's just the reality of this. So in the new poll poll that's out there. They say, okay, what if Biden and Trump were running against each other? And if it's Biden-Trump, redo from 2020, the poll has Biden winning by 52 to 43%. Even if we're in a scenario where we assume that Trump's support is going to be under-supported, the reality is that Biden is way ahead. And so maybe it's a little bit closer, maybe it's 50 to 45 or 49 to 46, but there's no question that you've got a scenario where Biden is ahead. In a head-to-head matchup with Biden and DeSantis, the numbers are much, much closer, 49 to 47, and DeSantis hasn't campaigned in the state of Wisconsin yet. So in that scenario, you have something that's within the statistical margin of error. So again, for Republicans looking at how you can retake the presidency, how you can win the White House, as I have been saying for months now, and I know it irritates some of you, the truth is, regardless of what you think about Donald Trump as a president, whether you think he's being unjustly indicted for this or that or the other thing, he can't win. He's not going to win Wisconsin. He didn't win Wisconsin in 2020. He's not going to win Wisconsin in 2024. If he is the nominee, you're pretty much guaranteed that Joe Biden or whoever is running as a Democrat is going to be the president. So, my question is, are Republicans going to wake up in the head-to-head matchup among Republicans and Republican-leaning independents? The Trump and DeSantis are like in a dead heat. In a head-to-head matchup, DeSantis is favored 57 to 41. That's a very good sign, because whether you care about whether it's DeSantis or Nikki Haley or Tim Scott or Chris Christie or whatever, the anybody but Trump factor is the one that at least gives the Republicans a chance to win in 2024. And I understand that is, to borrow the phrase from Al Gore, that is an inconvenient truth for some people, but it is the truth. Now, will voters wake up and discover that? We'll find out once the primary season starts. Let's take a quick break. We will be back with more in just a minute. This is Jeff Wagner, WTMJ.
Don't go anywhere. Jeff Wagner is back right after this.
Oh, I'm already running late. Let's go.
There is a backup on I-94 eastbound.
Wait, is that Debbie Loziga?
Expect delays.
Well, how bad is it?
Alternate routes will help you in your journey.
I feel better.
Get where you need to go calmly with traffic reporter Debbie Loziga, only on News Radio WTMJ.
Follow me on social.
The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is here and ready to help. Anyone can call or text 988 or chat via 988wisconsin.org to get connected to a trained Lifeline counselor. Trained counselors are here to support anyone experiencing a suicidal, mental health, or substance use crisis. You can also contact 988 if you are concerned about someone. 988 is confidential and free to all Wisconsin residents. 988 24/7. Call, text, chat. Here to support you. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Hey, Fleet Farm fans, you asked, we listened. You wanted lower prices? You got them. In-store, online. We drop prices everywhere. Lower prices on summer favorites like Liquid Pool Shock, Griller's Gold Barbecue Pellets, and Airhead Towables. Lower prices on big name pet care like Purina Tidy Cats. Lower prices on Valvoline motor oils. All because you said so. Look for the bright green price drop signs to find new lower prices on everything you need for everyday life. Only at Fleet Farm.
Where are we putting that money, and why are we putting it there? At Financial Strategies, you'll get answers to those questions to understand our approach. And the answers are going to be based on what we've learned about you. We're very engaged with our clients so that what we do for them fits their particular needs. But there are other things that we do that are equally important to the investment management portion of our services. I can't express how important it is to control the things you can control. At the end of the day, most investment managers will end up yielding similar overall returns. But knowing how to manage them wisely to avoid your nest egg being eaten away by the tax man, all legally of course, well, that's what I truly believe sets us apart. This is Jim Cantrell with Financial Strategies, Inc., and we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to financialstrategiesinc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
Don't go anywhere. Jeff Wagner is back right after this on WTMJ.
We're broadcasting live from the Lakefront Summerfest 2023. A lot of people down here and enjoying what is a great day. Again, you've got that smoke and that haze, but it's nowhere near as bad, I think, as it was yesterday. Lots of people down here who are enjoying themselves. Okay, we touched on this briefly yesterday, but I want to double back and actually turn it into sort of a larger topic. Budweiser, they can't give away Bud Light. I told this story a couple of weeks ago. About 2 weeks ago today, we had a party and had some people over, and I'd gone into Total Wine, and I bought a 12-pack of Bud Light. Why did you buy a 12-pack of Bud Light? Well, I bought it because a couple of the people we were having over, they are Bud Light drinkers. So because I'm a good host, I buy it. So I go up to the counter, and I'm paying for that along with some other stuff, and I asked the lady behind the counter at Total Wine, I said, have you been selling much Bud Light lately? And she essentially said, well, you're pretty much it. You're the guy that's bought it. I don't know that we've sold. She said, nowhere near as much as we used to. And she said, honestly, I don't remember the last 12-pack that we have sold. So I said, that was kind of interesting. Well, that is more than just an anecdotal sort of story. The Bud Light sales, now this all goes back to the huge situation that they had when they tried to reach out to the transgender influencer, and then went on to kind of imply that they were trying to move away from their traditional Bud Light customer and be more inclusive, etc. And it's turned into, if not a boycott, just a lot of people who are making the choice that they're done with Bud Light. And it's really, it's been really hitting home. The numbers are down dramatically. I mean, they're talking about Bud Light sales down, depending on what store you're looking at, somewhere between like 30, 40, 50%, year to year. It's just incredible how there has had this backlash. Right now, they are pretty much giving away Bud Light. There are stores all over the country, including in Wisconsin, where you can go in and you can buy a 15-pack of Bud Light, and they will give you a rebate, an electronic prepaid card, good for up to $15. All right? Well, Bud Light, in many of these stores, they sell it for less than $15. So in other words, if you go in and they're selling a 15-pack, and I've never seen a 15-pack, but regardless, but you got a 15-pack of Bud Light that's $13.98. You buy it after the rebate, you've got it for free. They are giving you a 15-pack of beer. You can't buy water for that. You got to go in, and even the cheapest water is going to cost you $3 or $4. But for a case of that, you can buy a 15-pack of Bud Light, and they are giving it away. And they're trying to do that in an effort to sort of save like their 4th of July sales, because there has been this incredible backlash. Our number is 855-616-1620. That is the Old National Bank talk and text line. I admit I'm fascinated by this, but it's kind of an academic conversation in some respects, because, I'm not a Bud Light drinker. So I'm not boycotting Bud Light, but I don't drink Bud Light to begin with. My buddies who are Bud Light drinkers, they're still Bud Light drinkers. They like it. They don't care about whether there's this other controversy going on. But the truth is, beer is one of these things where you have different choices. It's not like if you make the decision, I'm not going to drink Bud Light, well, it doesn't mean that you're going to have to give up drinking beer, because there's Coors Light, and there's Miller Lite, and there's all the other different light beers that are out there. So if you want to make a statement, and you think you're making a statement by saying I'm dropping Bud Light, you're not giving up beer. So they're not asking you to do that. My question is this. Is this a permanent blow to Bud Light? Will this blow over the people right now who are deciding that they're not going to drink Bud Light, whether you want to call it a boycott or whatever? Is that going to stick? Or do you think, hey, 6 months from now it's going to go back to normal? 855-616-1620. I'll tell you where I come down, and we'll discuss in just a minute. This is Jeff Wagner, WTMJ.
Don't go anywhere. Jeff Wagner is back right after this. when severe weather strikes. You can count on WTMJ's Fleet Farm severe weather coverage to keep you safe and informed.
Tornado warnings in effect for Jefferson and Walworth counties.
I'm on Highway 11 now. For the last 5 minutes or so, it's been just an immense lightning storm.
If you're in Delavan, go to a place of shelter now.
Severe weather coverage on WTMJ. Sponsored by Fleet Farm, proudly serving the Midwest since 1955.
Life is just getting started at Three Pillars, Wisconsin's top-rated continuing care retirement community. Located on 300 beautiful Lake Country acres, Three Pillars is taking reservations for new high-end active adult residences. With 4 styles to choose from and amenities like a supper club, fitness center, spa, pub, dog park, trails, and gardens galore. The choice is easy as you start your next adventure. Learn more at threepillars.org.
Hunger Task Force is Milwaukee's free and local food bank, working to feed people today and end future hunger. Hunger Task Force believes every person has the right to healthy food obtained with dignity. We deliver justice for people in need and focus on equitable access to foods that respect the diet, religion, and personal preferences of families who need help. We serve children, families, and seniors with compassion and demonstrate excellent stewardship of community resources to build a stronger Milwaukee. Visit hungertaskforce.org to donate, volunteer, or raise your voice to end hunger in our community.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. I always thought Vince Lombardi came up with that famous sports nugget, but it turns out he borrowed it from a college coach. And now I'm going to borrow it too. Because when there are 10 or 20 offers on a property, there's only one winner. In today's inventory-starved real estate market, you need a Lombardi-level mortgage coach, one who has all the best plays in the playbook. Going with your bank for your pre-approval is like playing in a professional playoff game with the JV coach at the helm. The Lombardi-level coaches at AccuNet are called senior loan consultants, and each one has been trained by me to help you and your real estate agent work as one team to deliver the one and only thing that matters, winning. So if you've been losing with your flimsy bank pre-approval, trade up today to a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval and a Lombardi-level game plan. And if you're just getting started, why not start with the best? Click on the blue button today and get started with your winning game plan at accunet.com.
This is Jeff Wagner on WTMJ.
We are, of course, broadcasting live from Summerfest. A lot of great stuff going on. Come on down. The weather is actually quite nice at the lakefront here. You've got a little bit of that haze, but it's not stopping people from coming down and enjoying this. This is the second week of Summerfest, and as we remind people all the time, Summerfest this year, instead of like 11 days pretty much continuous except for a Monday off, it's 3 weekends, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Last weekend, this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I admit, I'm a little bit surprised that this, I don't know if it's fair to describe it as a boycott or a rebellion to the sort of woke imagery from some of the advertising of Bud Light. I'm amazed that it's had the legs that it's had. And I would say this as an outsider because I'm not a Bud Light drinker. If I'm drinking beer and I'm drinking light beer, it's going to be Miller Lite. But this is, you look at the numbers, and it's just absolutely staggering how people have just stopped drinking Bud Light. And they're at the point is they try to, salvage what was once the most, Bud Light used to be the best-selling beer in America. And that's not the case now. The numbers are down dramatically year to year. They don't show any sign of stopping. And in an effort to try to resuscitate the brand, they're essentially giving it away. One of our texters says that they went into a liquor store the other day, and after the rebate, you could get a 30-pack of Bud Light for like $4.99. I mean, it's... You cannot possibly make money for that. A 15-pack will sell for less than $15. So with the $15 rebate, now they only give you the amount that you paid for it, but if you pay $13.95 for a 15-pack of beer, that rebate's going to cover it. It's going to be free. Jeff, it was a marketing misstep, kind of like New Coke from 20 years ago. I think the firestorm on social media is brutal. I think the brand will be back when all the toxicity stops. Well, I don't know. Because, here's the deal. Once people switch, do they come back? I mean, for example, and that's what I was saying earlier, you have a lot of different choices when it comes to your beer consumption. So if you have somebody that's historically been a Bud Light drinker, and for whatever reasons, they decide that they're going to stop drinking Bud Light and they switch over to Coors Light or Miller Light or whatever, and they like it. Hey, this is pretty good. Now that I've tried Coors Light, it's pretty good. I mean, what does Bud Light have to do to win them back? I mean, beer drinking, kind of ubiquitous. 855-616-1620. I think they should pay you $4.99 to drink Bud Light. Well, there is kind of that element of that that's out there. 855-616-1620. Some of the comments are pretty funny here. But the truth of the matter is, this is a problem. I mean, this is a problem. One of our texters makes the point that, Target sales are starting to crash as well because of, the reaction that people are having to what they think is the Target agenda. And Target has the same problem that Bud Light has, in that if people make the decision that they don't want to shop at Target, they have all sorts of alternatives. It's not like they're giving something else up. They can go to Costco. They can go to Sam's Club. They can go to Walmart. They can go to Meijer. They can go to any one of a number of stores and get the same items largely that they're going to get at Target. So you can, if you feel that it's necessity or the desire to kind of make a statement, you can do that without really hurting yourself too much. You're not giving anything up. Just like you can stop drinking Bud Light, but you can still drink whatever kind of beer you want. I don't know how Bud Light recovers from this. I'll be honest with you, because once people start leaving the brand, it's tough to get them back. And it just, again, another indicator of however you feel about these various issues. It's amazing to me that Budweiser made the decision to jump into this particular issue, not realizing that, well, there's who their core beer drinkers are, and maybe you don't want to take them for granted like they apparently did. Will Bud Light come back? I think it's a very open question. WTMJ Breaking News time is 2:31 p.m. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Wyatt Barmore-Pooley.
Thanks, Jeff. Continuing effects of the smoke from the Canadian wildfires. That air quality alert has been extended until Friday at noon by the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources. The air quality is still considered unhealthy in Milwaukee County. The U.S. Supreme Court gutting race-based affirmative action programs in college admissions, ruling against Harvard and the University of North Carolina today in a 6-3 decision, saying that their programs violate the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment and that they should consider a student's individual qualities apart from racial identity. Milwaukee police investigating after a man was found dead in a vehicle in the Riverside neighborhood this morning. A 22-year-old man found shot to death around 6:30 on North Avenue. They're investigating it as a homicide and looking for any suspects. And the Wisconsin Assembly today will debate and vote on the budget proposal, the Senate passing it 20-13 yesterday. The Assembly expected to do so as well. At that point, it will head to the desk of Governor Tony Evers. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The NASDAQ is the only one in the red right now, but it's only just a little bit down. It's down 13 points. The S&P and the Dow both up. The Dow up 0.75%, up 258 points, and the S&P up a little under 17 points to almost 0.4% up. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button today. Taking a look at your roads, it is your Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic, and it looks like we're still seeing some pretty messy slowdowns on 43. Actually, looks like we've got a closure of a ramp, the ramp from 43 northbound onto 894 eastbound. That is closed because of a crash. This is at the Hale interchange, and it looks like they were seeing some delays there back on 43 northbound at the Hale. We're also seeing all the way up north of the city on 43 northbound from Brown Deer Road into downtown. That is 43 southbound. It's going to be a 23-minute ride. That is a 12-minute delay. Slowdowns also on 43 northbound. 94 westbound, a little bit slow. 41 southbound as well. Highway Q2, the zoo, will take you 21 minutes. That's a 7-minute delay.
Traffic is brought to you by Crest Cadillac. Find them at crestcadillac.com. Crest Cadillac of Brookfield, located on Capitol Drive, just west of Interstate 41. Discover Crest Cadillac at crestcadillac.com.
Time for the WTMJ 5-day forecast. Chance of scattered storms today, otherwise a mix of clouds, sun, and smoke. A high of 90 degrees inland, 85 near the lake. Tonight, slight chance of storms early. It'll be partly cloudy, a low of 66. Friday, warm, humid, and partly cloudy. Slight chance of storms and a high of 87. July starts on Saturday. It'll be partly cloudy and humid. A slight chance of storms, a high of 83. That slight chance of storms sticking around on Sunday, partly cloudy, a high of 77. Monday, mostly sunny, but we could see some pop-up storms possible, a high of 80. Right now in downtown Milwaukee, it is 82 degrees. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News time is 2:33.
I'm Jeff Wagner. It's Throwback Thursday down here at Summerfest, but there's a throwback entertainment feature that's going on right now on television. I will explain the phenomena. We'll talk about it and discuss in just a minute.
Stick around. Jeff Wagner is right around the corner.
The 4th of July is an important holiday for all Americans. Hi, this is Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. For some husbands, however, in troubled marriages, holidays are marked more by hardship than harmony. If you're such a guy and considering divorce, know all your options, including alternatives to divorce. We advise, we advocate, and when necessary, we litigate.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Milwaukee attorneys. 111 East Kilbourne Avenue, Suite 1650, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53202.
At Simply Safe, your safety is the only thing that matters. Introducing 24/7 LiveGuard protection, only from Simply Safe Home Security. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Don't give in to that constant joint pain. Take control. Take back your quality of life today with help from QC Kinetics. Hey, it's Greg Matzik. QC Kinetics is helping people every day here in Milwaukee and across the country with their amazing non-surgical treatments that repair and restore damaged joint tissue. They use the latest advances in regenerative medicine, taking your own body's healing agents and concentrating them right in the area where you have the agonizing pain. It's incredible and a non-invasive approach that will help you take back control of your body, relieving the pain in knees, hips, shoulder, or back. No invasive surgery, no harmful drugs or steroids, and no downtime. Hey, summertime should be about having fun, making memories. Take control now and start living pain-free again. Call now for a free consultation with QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Welcome back to Jeff Wagner on WTMJ.
Broadcasting live once again from Summerfest. I'll be down here from noon until 3 tomorrow. So stop on down. Wisconsin's Afternoon News with Greg Matzik. He's going to be here as well. John McCure is on vacation, so we'll be taking you up to 6 o'clock tonight. You know, one of the, or maybe I think it's 5:30. The Brewers tonight are playing New York, and I have to admit, this is sort of one of these indications that I might not be that good a person. You know, what's the phrase, schadenfreude, which means taking pleasure in the problems of others, essentially. I have to admit, I take great pleasure in watching all the trouble that the New York Mets are having. The New York Mets have the largest payroll in baseball, $377 million. They are owned by a guy named Steve Cohen, who's one of these like uber-rich hedge fund managers who has more money than God and decided he's going to buy this baseball team and he's going to spend all this money on it. Well, they've spent all this money on the Mets, and the Mets are a train wreck. They're 36-44. They're like 17 games behind the Atlanta Braves in their division. They're toast. I mean, this is kind of the lost season with a payroll of $377 million, which tells you that money doesn't always, equal success. But they are playing in New York, and Aaron Rodgers is going to find this out, that if you're winning, it's one thing, but the New York fans are not a particularly, how can we say this, forgiving lot. And so, if Aaron Rodgers goes to the New York Jets and they start winning and it's great, it's going to be fine. If they fall flat on their face and they lose their first 3 games, or they lose 3 out of the first 5 or whatever, that the New York fans are going to turn on them in a New York minute. So it has been kind of interesting watching the games. Now, the Brewers ended up winning Monday and Wednesday. They lost on Tuesday. But the crowd, I'm telling you, I was watching the game and listening to it at the same time. I was watching the Monday and Wednesday night games. The crowd was ugly. I mean, boos and just screaming, yelling. It was not a pleasant sort of experience, and the Mets just looked like kind of this worn-down team. So the owner is having this press conference, and he's kind of acknowledging. They said, well, how do you feel about this? When you're in fourth place in the NL East, you're 9 games away from even a wild card spot. And his response is, it's terrible. It's not what I expected. Well, all right, too bad. It proves that money does not always buy happiness. The big rumor is that David Stearns, who was the general manager and president of the baseball operations for the Brewers, that once his contract with the Brewers expires, which will be at the end of this season, that he's going to be the guy that they hired to try to resuscitate the Mets. That may or may not work out. But if you think money can buy success, just look at the New York Mets. It doesn't work that way. All right. TV. Let's talk about television for a minute, just kind of lighten it up. TV goes through different sort of genres that are hot. There was a time when Westerns were really hot on television. And then there was a time when it was medical shows. ER came on, and ER was a success, and then everybody wanted to do medical shows. And it kind of runs in cycles like that. And then you had variety shows. When I think American Idol first came out, that was a hit, and then everybody wanted to play copycat, and everybody wanted to do their version of American Idol. So you had that. And these things that they get really hot, and then they sort of fade away. So there's cycles to all this type of stuff. Cop shows, another one of those examples. But there is one type of TV program that not only is it successful now, but it was successful 50 or 60 years ago and continues to go strong. I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count. It's game shows. Game shows, have been with us for the longest time, but game shows are as hot now as they have ever been. You had the announcement, late last week that Ryan Seacrest, who is going to take over the entire world, Ryan Seacrest he was replacing Pat Sajak on Wheel of Fortune. This is the same Ryan Seacrest who replaced Casey Kasem on the America's Top 100, and Dick Clark and Regis Philbin. Now he's taken over for Pat Sajak. I think if there's any TV personality who's in their 50s or 60s, it's male. Watch out, because Ryan Seacrest is going to replace you sometime soon. The guy that does Survivor, Jeff Probst, we just had some big thunder here. All right, down here at the lakefront. So you're going to have all that's going on. So Ryan Seacrest is taking over Wheel of Fortune, and they've just signed him to, a multi-year big dollar contract. Jeopardy remains incredibly, incredibly popular. So you've got the Wheel, you've got Jeopardy that are out there, and then you have a number of the other game shows that are around as well. Family Feud, currently hosted by Steve Harvey, draws 8 million viewers per episode. The Price is Right, hired by Drew Carey, that does extremely well. The $100,000 Pyramid is still going strong. You have Game Show Network. You have game shows that are arguably as popular now as they were 30, 40, 50 years ago. Our number is 855-616-1620. That is the Old National Bank talk and text line. We only got a couple minutes, but I'm curious, what is the appeal of game shows? Why is it that in 2023, with all the different entertainment choices we have, that people, and it's people of all ages, by the way, are continuing to be attracted to game shows, whether it's Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune or whatever. 855-616-1620. We discuss in a moment.
More Jeff Wagner right after this.
The freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 4.75 to 8-ounce bag Frito-Lay Lays or kettle cooked potato chips or poppable snacks, 2 for $5. 6-pack 16.9-ounce bottles or 6-pack 7.5-ounce mini cans, Coke products, 4 for $17. 7 to 13.1-ounce bag Old Dutch popcorn rings or restaurant-style tortilla chips, 2 for $6. 4-count Dannon Activa Light and Fit or Yo Crunch yogurt or 6-count Danimals smoothie drinks, 2 for $6.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take them out at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience from Century Foods. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 26th.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
Find your next great hire with Indeed. Their hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Advent founder Dr. Madan Kandula.
If you were formerly breathing properly and we just plugged your nose up, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it for a few minutes. You're not going to like it for an hour. You wouldn't stand it for a day. If we're talking weeks, you're going to be clawing at the walls to get that thing off. And if we're talking months to years to decades, many of our patients are basically walking around with clothespins on their nose and they don't know any difference. They've never experienced what life is supposed to be like when you breathe properly, and so for them, they feel like it's normal. It should be no surprise that many of the folks that we treat have downstream conditions. So if somebody's nose isn't working properly, if somebody's throat isn't working properly, they're not breathing properly. And when you don't breathe properly, it creates problems for your body.
When you breathe well, you live better. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment today.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Jeff Wagner on WTMJ.
855-616-1620. That is the Old National Bank talk and text line. Hey, there's an Eagles tribute band that's playing some song. You got the Hotel California song there. Eagles tribute band playing, 4 o'clock or so, 4:15, 4 o'clock down here at Summerfest. I'm gonna take that in. We're just gonna hang around here and check it all out. 855-616-1620. We're talking about game shows, and what got me thinking about this is you had the announcement, Ryan Seacrest taking over for Pat Chajak on the Wheel of Fortune. And if you look at the ratings and the numbers, one of the things that you see is that game shows are as popular now as they've ever been. You've got Jeopardy, which has survived the passing of Alex Trebek, and that's incredibly popular. You've got Wheel of Fortune. They are investing a fortune themselves to hire Ryan Seacrest to a multi-year contract. And then you've got the other games that have been around. You've got Drew Carey hosting The Price is Right. You've got the Match Game. You've got Michael Strahan, who does the $100,000 pyramid now, the thing that Dick Clark started. 855-616. What is the appeal of this? A couple of our texters. Jeff, game shows are participatory and interactive in a sense. You can be part of the experience and compete against others in the room with you. My wife is a huge fan of Family Feud, and so a lot of times, she'll have that on, and it is. You just kind of get sucked into the thing. They'll ask you the question, survey says, and they'll ask you the question, and you inevitably find yourself, playing along. Jeopardy, I think, is one of those great examples of that because, Jeopardy is one, you've got all those different questions. It tests your knowledge. If you find that you know a lot of the answers, you think, boy, I'm pretty smart. On the other hand, if there's categories that you don't know, you say, wow, how do those people know this? 855-616-1620. Jeff, I think it's optimistic fantasizing, I believe. I don't watch them, but I believe that's why some people do it. Jeff, I think people like games because people are basically competitive. Jeff, the game shows are feel-good, non-political entertainment. Well, they are certainly family entertainment. There's no question about that. Jeff, I think one of the appeals of game shows is you can play along at home. It's something to do. Yeah, I mean, I think there is an element of that. It is something to do. Jeff, I love the match game. It makes you think. Well, I think game shows make you think. I don't know if the match game particularly does, but it's one of these fun things that's out there. Karen in Milwaukee. Karen, you're on WTMJ.
Hi, Jeff. Thanks for taking my call. Yeah, we live in such a digital age. I think that game shows are a great, wholesome way for us to still have human interaction, even from the comfort of our own homes. It breaks color lines. There's no age to it, as you stated before. And it's just a great, wholesome way, I think, to be entertained.
Do you watch game shows yourself, Karen?
I do. I like The Price is Right. I think you named that one. I do like Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, all the ones you named.
Yeah, Karen, thanks for the call. Well, right there, I mean, and these are, I mean, I've got the numbers that are out there. It is just staggering. Family Feud, which has been around since '76, 8 million viewers per episode. That's got the highest syndicated, that's got the highest viewership totals in all of syndicated television. I mean, just think about that. I mean, these numbers are kind of staggering. Beginning in September, ABC is going to feature an hour-long edition of Celebrity Jeopardy on Tuesday nights and a full Thursday primetime lineup of Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, Press Your Luck, and the $100,000 Pyramid. So ABC is saying, okay, on Thursday night, we're going to turn this over to game shows. And that's how we think we're going to get ratings, and I think that's how we're going to make money. Jeff, I think game shows are real and reality shows aren't. Well, yeah, reality shows really aren't real, but the game shows, they are. Jeff, I watch Jeopardy and The Price is Right every day. I enjoy guessing the answers. I find the shows to be educational also. I like to test my friends, too, with clues from Jeopardy, like some of the pop culture clues. Yeah, I think, that's a great idea. It's one of the things that, tests you, and it's one of the things that has that appeal that goes on. And I will tell you, it's a golden oldie, but they are still standing strong on CBS, one of the longest-running shows. The Price is Right. They're even moving into, new studios. Wheel of Fortune, huge. Jeopardy, huge. Game shows are not going anywhere anytime soon. Okay, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we will find out what Dave and Sandy have on their minds for Wisconsin's Afternoon News. This is Jeff Wagner broadcasting live from Summerfest.
Stick around. Jeff Wagner is right around the corner.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Join me every Saturday at noon for Experience Wisconsin, where we check in with communities across the state for the best and brightest spots around the great state of Wisconsin. This week, we're excited to be joined by Tashia Price from Beloit.
A summer